Welcome to Bionic Professor, an AI-powered embodied teaching platform designed to make digital learning more interactive and engaging. Traditional online learning often feels passive and disconnected. Bionic Professor reimagines this experience by combining a 3D professor avatar, lecture slides, interactive discussion, quizzes, and session summaries into one immersive learning environment. Now, let's start our learning journey by entering the classroom. Students can freely explore the 3D learning environment by dragging the mouse to look around in 360 degrees. They can also use the keyboard to navigate through the classroom. To start a session, we simply approach the professor avatar and click to interact. The lecture selection panel then appears, allowing students to choose the topic they want to study. Once a lecture is selected, the Bionic Professor begins the learning session and guides the student through the material.
Welcome to MetaML Computing Concepts and Definitions. I am Professor El Sadiq's digital twin, and today we will build a foundation for understanding multimedia as more than just images, videos, or sound. Multimedia is about how rich information is represented, transmitted, perceived, and interacted with through many channels. To begin, what kinds of media do you interact with every day, and which ones feel most important to you?
During the learning session, students go through the key knowledge points step by step. After each point, the professor asks a discussion question to encourage active thinking instead of passive listening. Students respond in their own words, and the Bionic Professor provides feedback based on their answer.
You have correctly identified text, audio, and video as key daily media, and video indeed carries rich information. Just note that multimedia computing also studies how these media are created. Think of multimedia as a rich tapestry woven from many threads: text, graphics, images, animation, audio, video, even touch, haptics, and emerging sensory media like smell. It's not just about playing a video, it's about combining these channels to turn raw data into a meaningful human experience. For example, a virtual reality training simulation might use video for visual context, haptic gloves for tactile feedback, and audio for spatial sound, all working together to immerse the user. Can you give an example of a system that uses at least 3 media types at the same time and explain how they work together?
The professor continues this cycle, teaching one knowledge point, asking a discussion question, evaluating the student's response, and then moving to the next point until the full lecture has been completed through active interaction. After the learning session is completed, the system prompts the student to take a quiz to check their understanding of the key concepts. The quiz helps evaluate whether the student has truly mastered the learning points, rather than simply going through the lecture. Based on the student's answers, the Bionic Professor provides feedback and helps identify which concepts may need further review.
Question 1 of 10. Which statement best describes multimedia computing? Question 2 of 10. What is the main difference between linear and non-linear multimedia? Question 3 of 10. Which option is an example of continuous media? Question 4 of 10. In multimedia systems, what does haptics refer to?
After completing the quiz, students can generate a summary of the finished lecture. The summary reviews the key points covered during the session, highlights what the student has practiced, and provides a clear record of the learning outcome. This helps students quickly revisit the lecture content and identify what they may want to review next.
Great session today. You learned that multimedia computing integrates audio, text, and animation like in video games. The big goal is to create interactive, engaging experiences, and you noted perception matters beyond technical specs. Your quiz score is 8/10 with strengths in defining multimedia computing, distinguishing linear vs non-linear, and identifying continuous media to improve focus on giving more precise and complete answers. Your last response was too vague. Keep up the good work, and you will master this topic.
In summary, Bionic Professor transforms online learning from a passive content viewing experience into an interactive, guided, and immersive learning process. By combining a 3D professor avatar, classroom exploration, lecture slides, discussion-based learning, quizzes, and personalized summaries, the system helps students learn more actively and reflect on what they have understood. This project demonstrates how AI digital twins can support the future of education by making learning more engaging, adaptive, and human-centered.